What's up, YouTube? Building muscle for dummies. I'm going to break it down as simple as I can so that you can understand and comprehend it. It really won't get much more simpler than this. Before we get started, I have been lifting for 8 years. Probably wasted the first 2 because I didn't know these things that I'm about to tell you. So let's break it down. In order to build muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus. So that's the nutrition aspect. Calorie surplus is eating above your maintenance calories or eating more calories than you burn. Your maintenance calories is how many calories you need to live and maintain your weight. Now, a surplus would be adding. Some people make the mistake of using too big of a surplus. I mean, like a 500 calorie surplus. They're having an extra 500 calories when really your surplus should be between 1 to 200 calories to start. You got to be in a calorie surplus. You have to be progressing in the gym. First of all, if you're not tracking it, how do you know you're progressing? You need to track your progress in the gym. So what I would recommend is either having a notebook, an app. I use an app. What I would recommend is just finding something that works. Even if it's a notebook, that's what I did when I first started. Although one of the mistakes I made is within my first 2 years of lifting, I didn't really track anything and I didn't really follow a plan. And we'll get into that. So tracking your progress, meaning that each week you should be aiming to progress, or really each workout. So say you follow an upper-lower split, you have 2 upper body days and then 2 lower body days. Say your first upper body day, you do bench press and you're doing 3 sets of 8 with 225 pounds. So you do that on Monday. Next Monday, you want to either do 3 sets of 8 with 230 pounds. Maybe you want to do that first set of 8 with 230, and then those next 2 sets are 225, because that's still progress, right? Even though not all 3 sets you progressed, you still progressed on that first set, which still counts as something. Maybe it's doing 4 sets of 8 with 225 instead of 3 sets. That's another way to progress. There are so many things and so many ways you can progress. Adding weight, adding sets, adding reps, changing the tempo, going slower on the way down, adding a pause at the bottom. Now, when you do those things, it's important that you keep it consistent. So if you're doing a pause at the bottom, make sure you do a pause at the bottom next week, because then you're not going to know if you truly progress, because you're going to be stronger without the pause, if that makes sense. Just finding a way to progress. My way is I have a rep range. So say the rep range is 8 to 10. I'll pick a weight that I can only get 8 with. Next week, I'll shoot to get 9. Once I get to where I can get 10 with that weight, I'm going to increase the weight to a weight that I can only do for 8. So we talked about tracking. Now, kind of tied into tracking your progress is you got to have a plan. You got to have a workout routine that you're going to stick to. So for me, I cycle every 4 to 6 weeks through different plans. I'm just trying something new. I would actually recommend sticking to a routine a little bit longer than that. Right now, I'm in a 6-week program, and I keep everything the same for those 6 weeks. So like Monday, the push workout, it's all going to be the same every Monday. I'm aiming to progress every Monday. I have 6 opportunities to progress. What I did when I first started working out, which I was kind of touching on earlier, is I wouldn't stick to one routine. I would be hitting arms one day, arms the next day, and then shoulders one day. So I wasn't even hitting each muscle group per week. It was like arms a couple days, barely hit legs. I just kind of did whatever, and that just led me down another rabbit hole. It got to the point where like the following year, I would do like pull days, like 2 days in a row. Like I'd hit pull, then I'd hit push, and I go back to pull, then legs, and back to pull. Like I just loved pull days, like back in Boz. So I would hit that 3-4 days a week, and I was probably under recovered from it. So just find something you can stick to. Like understand your body needs rest between. Take your off day, at least 1 a week. So we touched on nutrition, we touched on tracking our progress, and we touched on finding a routine. And the last thing I want to touch on is patience. I've been lifting for 8 years, and right now, in the camera, I don't even know, do I look like I lift? I can't really tell. Naturally, it's really hard. It's really hard to look the way you want to. To be honest, you're never going to look the way you want to. You have to accept that. You have to always strive for better. You got to be patient. You got to understand this is a long journey. Time passes anyway. Might as well work out while it passes, right? Because eventually you're going to look pretty good. Eventually you might get to where you want to be. That's it. That's kind of gaining muscle summarized for dummies. If you guys resonated with this, if you feel like you want to learn more and you want to learn how I can help you, you can book a free consultation call using my link below. I'd love to help you out. We have made so much progress over the past few months with our clients, and I would love for you to be a part of our team. Thank you guys for the support, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.